So, the first couple of weeks of the project were mostly orientated on preparation of the real development phase. We worked on concepts, team name, brainstorming, and whatever you do before you start developing the real game in the end. We started the project with a team of 14 people with no prior experience in game development. So for everyone, everything just was new. We expected this whole minor to be a huge challenge. To produce a successful game is really hard because there's so much games being released every day. To get something successful is a true challenge. The start of our minor was not as fluent as we wanted it to be. We had some hiccups with the team, with different concepts, with different prototypes, and overall a lot of time being wasted. So we started with 14 people, then we split into a smaller group of 8 people due to some disagreements about the direction of the team, and this meant that we would continue with half the team, half the size, and a whole concept to finish in the time.
Well, we are quite special because we consist of 8 developers, which is not ideal when you're making a game. The process with 8 developers, so marketing, art, design. So that's, in my eyes, pretty special. When you try to work together, you all have to be motivated, and we all really like the concept, so that really helped with the motivation, and that helps with the team spirit and the communication between the team. Felt like we could say everything to each other, negative, positive, doesn't matter, as long as it's in the best for the game.
Initially, we started with a team of 14 men. We had a group of artists, a group of devs, and a group of game design. After like 10 sessions of brainstorming, we got a concept, a mechanic for cloning. The clone concept was made out of clones, basically. It was a fast-paced shooting game. You started as a character, and one of your skills was to clone yourself for a short amount of time. After our group disbanded, partially, we had to jump from that concept to something new.
Thought of this concept, we were inspired, like most people already saw, by Getting Over It from Bennett Folly. We wanted to make something like this, something that brings frustration, but that also makes players addicted fast. That you feel like it's so terribly hard, but still you must make it, because when you look at the leaderboard, you see that people make it in crazy time. So you think I must be able to do this. At the time, my son was 1 year and 3 months old, and he started walking. And I noticed that when he started walking, he doesn't walk like grown-ups do. He was still learning this. We created this how a baby learns to walk, how a baby walks using his balance, and the dummy experiment came out of it.
Initially, our first map we created was really basic. It was just basically a floating line of a sort of path in space with a couple of trees on them you had to avoid. And the core feature of that map was just to test our mechanic. It was just to see was it possible, could people actually make it to the end of that path, and was it fun to do. So if you look at our very first concept maps, it's completely different than the map it is today. We first started working on the map we have in the game right now in Google SketchUp, basically just to sketch things out, just to see how it would look in the real game. And we sort of by accident found out that we could actually export that map as an FBX file, and we could import that in Unity. So creation of the map became a lot easier, and we could do a lot more considering we only had to do things once. We didn't have to design it in SketchUp and then build in Unity. We could just do the same thing, both things, in the same program. When you look at the gameplay of the earlier prototypes of the map, you can really see the development if you look back at those right now. Things got a lot more complex. We tweaked a lot on the map, feedback from users, feedback from our own in-house testers, and things really changed a lot. Yeah, as our producer already said, we started out this project basically with 8 developers, and none of us had real experience in any form of animation program, so nothing like Maya or Blender. And 2 of our developers took it upon themselves to start working in Maya, just basically look up tutorials, started modeling some test objects, and eventually actually started making objects for use in the game. It was pretty tough. They had no experience with Maya whatsoever, but in the end it worked out pretty well. We chose for a low poly art style for pretty obvious reasons. It's easy to make. Like I said, we're not artists. We didn't have a lot of experience in art or design programs, so we wanted to keep it simple just for ourselves and to really keep the focus on the game mechanic and not so much on the art style of the game, because often the art style takes away from the actual core of the game, and we really wanted to focus on our mechanic because that was what made it so special.
So for me, this minor, the biggest challenge was instead of developing, because we had 8 developers, I ended up doing marketing. It's something entirely new for me. So I've done a bit of social media management, a bit of videos, but no real experience in any of that. So during the weeks, I've learned more about the camera, learned more about how to make the videos, how to edit them better, how to make them more appealing to the viewers, and overall, you can really see the progress of the video we made in week 1 compared to the video we made like last week. And this is also which I'm really proud of, of all these videos, of everything we put out, all the results, all the downloads, all the videos, all the content, everything with the whole team is just amazing.
Biggest challenge for me as a producer, keeping the team motivated even when times were rough, as they say, because we had quite a few different concepts before this one. Some of them which we really liked, but we had to let go, and this was really demoralizing for the motivation and for just the general feeling in the team. For me as a producer, I think that was the hardest challenge, just to keep all heads up, keep everyone motivated, keep everyone going.
I think the thing I'm most proud of is just the response of the community. I mean, people started discussions on our Steam page asking about each other's timed runs. They started up a Discord server just to talk about the game, to give us feedback on our game, to find bugs more easily. People started uploading videos on their own on YouTube. There are tons of videos on YouTube right now from people playing our game. And to see such a positive response from the community is really something, and it really makes you realize why you're all doing this.
What I am the most proud of is the way we all work together. Everyone had their own roles and everyone fulfilled that role in a good way. After a lot of hardships, especially after breaking up the team, we bonded together even more, and that helped us.
The final release was on Friday the 19th of January. Unfortunately, this was the same day as the end event, so that was really stressful. We wanted to release the final version like in the afternoon, right before the event, but as things happen in development teams and game development, stuff doesn't always go as planned, and this was the case on that day too. We had some stuff that got a little bit delayed. We got some bugs that we really had to fix. So in the end, we were actually still fixing bugs during the start of the event, and we released the final version also during the start of the event. So yeah, that was really hectic day.
But the end event, it was pretty awesome because I didn't expect that much people to be there, and eventually a lot of people turned up, a lot of people got addicted to our game. They started playing maybe first a couple minutes, and then they just kept going with people sitting there for like an hour or just even 30 minutes, or they just playing the game again and again because they wanted to continue, they wanted to get further in the game, they wanted to achieve something, they wanted to finish it. It's like sometimes you almost had to pull somebody off the controller so another person could play.
everyone was enthusiastic about all the games. There was a nice atmosphere. Drinks were flowing. So yeah, it was a nice event, and we got a chance to see a lot of people play our game, like in one night. Got a chance to really talk with a big group of people playing our game, and talking to them while they were playing our game. Get some feedback, get some reviews. So it was also for us as the development team was really good evening to get a lot of good feedback from players.
Why is our team special?
Yo.
Dus klappen trouwens.
Ja, doe maar even.
Ja, en we hebben ook een halve making of, zeg maar, want Kai had ook al een blooper. Nou, dan moet je rustig. Ja, je ziet, kom op. Je bent groter dan mij en Martijn samen, dus kom op.
Buy my mixtape.
Want Kai en ik hebben ook wel even geduld.
I met these two girls and they wanted me to take their picture.
Zo, voor je te voegen.
Brainstorm more, put some more effort in the project. Which, because we had a long evening, we ordered some food so we could go there without starving, basically. And after like 20 minutes, we heard that we had to leave the building. So we had to basically wait outside the building for our food before we could basically go to the event.